Yeah. So what are we chatting about today, fam? Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh my goodness!
You lot ain't watched it. Well, you purposely.
I purposely stayed away from watching it because them things aren't really my thing. But with how it was so publicized, and I think it was Netflix's second most viewed and gross revenue thing.
Okay.
I think Squid Game is probably first, but maybe give a bit of context to it, Sean. Have you watched it?
I've watched it. So obviously, spoiler alert. If anyone ain't watched it, you should have watched it by now. Trigger warning too. But you should have watched it by now. And if you wanted to, I don't really get too squeamish about little things like that because you guys know me. I watch horrors to go sleep. You know what I mean? So.
That's not right.
What do you mean? Why is it not right?
That's wild. Man.
How is it wild? If you're shook, you're shook.
That's not normal.
I
don't watch horrors to go to.
My little brother does it as well. And my little car. I don't know why you lot do it. It's not normal.
No, but it's
horrors.
But
before you go to sleep.
But it's not real, bro.
Women do that
Doesn't
though.
matter
I know a lot of women do that.
It's not real.
Yeah, a lot of women watch
why
true
you not
crime.
watch that before you go to sleep?
Have you ever watched anime before you go to sleep?
Well, that's not the same.
Okay, so
go on, tell me it's the same. Go on.
So anime is not real.
Go on, tell me this.
Anime is not real, but it's all like fighting and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're watching that before bed.
I think I'm fighting a losing battle, bro.
So you're saying what horrors aren't real?
No, horrors aren't real. No.
So you're saying
horror films aren't real.
So you're saying Duppy's not real?
Yeah, but come on. But I'm saying like horror when I watch horror films, I'm saying I don't immerse myself into it. Like I'm not like, oh shit, like I'm someone bust through the door, I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? I'm just like, alright, cool, I'm just watching the film.
You can detach yourself.
I can detach myself.
You can detach yourself.
You know what I mean?
That's what it is. Yeah. But this Jeffrey Dahmer thing is a whole different kettle of fish, man. From the things I've heard anyway.
Yeah.
He's different.
I think it was in the 80s, I think. Was it the 80s? It was back then anyway. But so this guy was a serial killer and he was luring, I think the majority of his victims were black and brown men. I think, again, the majority of his victims were homosexuals as well. He would lure them back and he would drug them and then do little weird things, try like chop them up, and then cannibalism,
dismembering their bodies, dismember, you know what I mean?
Dismembering their melting them in acid. That's just chilling in the corner of his room.
And didn't I read
how man can just be in? Sorry, go on.
Sorry, was it the neighbor? There was a neighbor in it, and she realized something was up, and she was like, because he offered her a sandwich or something.
So then
that's why I didn't want to watch it.
Yeah. So what happened was imagine like you're next door in a flat and you've got the vent that passes through the blocks in it, and obviously imagine if you're dicing up and throwing human flesh in acid. Obviously it's gonna have a mad smell. So that's coming through the vents. She's thinking like, wow, what is that? Like, do you know what I mean? So she's been complaining, calling the police. Police ain't been doing nothing as usual. And then I think when he had enough of her complaining, he went over there to kind of he was giving her a peace offering.
Did he want to kill her as well?
No. So he couldn't have killed her because it would have been too. It's weird. It would have been too bait, but then you couldn't put it past him to do that. And that's what I'm going to kind of talk about a bit later because he was mad, but then he was also in tune with what he was doing.
Calculated in his own way.
Yeah.
Did he only kill? It was only men that he killed, isn't it?
It was only men.
Okay.
It was only men.
Okay.
But yeah, so again, the peace offering was like a sandwich. So it had meat in it. And
was it human meat?
Well, we don't know technically, but we know because he was like, here, have the sandwich. And she was like, nah, I'm all right, thanks. He's like, here, have it. And basically trying to tell her, force her to have the sandwich. Like, have it. I made it for you. Like, why aren't you not having it? And then it was just a whole weird, if that's how it actually went, that was a whole weird transaction. It's kind of like,
you know, if that sandwich.
No, not at all. Not at all. But he was proper like invading her space trying to get her to eat it. But
they commissioned a new, because it's all part of this series called Monster on Netflix. So they've just commissioned, I think, 2 more kind of seasons of this monster thing where they're gonna someone similar to how Jeffrey Dahmer is, they're gonna pick someone else that's a serial killer or something and do the same thing again.
Because the next one was, there was another one that showed it briefly afterwards. I can't remember what his name was, but he used to dress up like a clown and basically lure people over and do the same thing and kill them.
That's crazy.
Like a clown. See what I mean?
Yeah.
People are tapped from.
Yeah. But again, so this is my question. It's like, all right, so Jeffrey Dahmer, I was going to say Jeffrey Epstein, fam. Jeffrey Dahmer, he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time we like to say serial killers are mentally ill or whatever to an extent. But Jeffrey Dahmer, he didn't show... He knew what he was doing. And he didn't show remorse until much later on, where then when he was in jail, he then found God. And, he thought that, if he repents and whatever, then he can go to heaven. Trying to word my question properly, just because he was a serial killer, does that mean he was actually mentally ill? What do you think?
I think like that, when it comes to being ill, I think when it comes to or serial killers in general, there's an element of, because when you're diagnosed as mentally ill, it's all on different levels of your capacity. So you can be aware of the things that you are doing, and they can be calculated to an extent, but then equally at the same time, it's just the fact of what you're doing is wrong, but you still have an awareness of what you're doing. And I wanted to say as well, I was doing some research on this, there's actually 4 different types of serial killers that they've identified. There's probably more. Yeah, so there's sociopaths as well, but these 4 that they identified was hedonistic, which Jeffrey Dahmer was labelled as, which are people who are serial killers who like to get a thrill or rush out of killing people through it could be like lust or sexual pleasure or gain, like financially. The second one was power/control. That was Ted Bundy, who
Ted Bundy
there's another Netflix documentary.
I've seen that. I swear this same guy played him, innit?
Did it?
The same. Yeah, he does it well.
So power control is people who like getting satisfaction out of having complete control, and that could be through sex, or like the main motive is to gain power. The third one is mission orientated. So there was a guy called Joseph Paul Franklin, and he killed 12 black males who had white girlfriends. So their main aim is to seek revenge, eliminate a specific group or person, ridding the world, and they're generally not psychotic. And then the final is visionary. So these are people who you probably would say are more like the mentally ill person, because they suffer from some sort of psychosis, delusions, hallucinations. They feel compelled or commanded to kill, and things like saying that it's like an act of God or it's a demon that done it is a general statement that they make. So which you find a lot of people who become mentally unwell, they start saying things like to either do with religion or those sort of things. So but sorry, go on, Dan.
I know this topic is a sensitive topic, so I'm gonna be careful to choose my words. But I think that he was ill, only because anyone that's in the kitchen a lot, like, will tell you putting a knife into meat, it's not like a normal thing. Do you know what I mean? For you to be able to sit there, like you can know what you're doing, but you're still mentally ill because your conscience is seared. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're a sociopath, you've got no feeling. Do you get what I'm saying? So for you to sit there, get to know someone, befriend them, and then afterwards kill them, cut them up in your house. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're actually sawing someone's body, and then you're putting in acid. That's not normal, bro. That's not normal behavior. Like, for me, something's wrong with you. Do you get what I'm saying? Just like, and the thing is, right, we have to be careful to remember that there's, like Aaron said, there's different levels of mental illness. Do you get what I'm saying? And just because, somebody could speak to you and have a normal conversation, like, you could speak to a stranger on the street, I think they're fine, but you don't know that they have bipolar. Do you see what I'm saying? So that, like, you have to be careful. Like, so for me, when you've got someone that's actively seeking a type of person and they get a kick or a rush out of killing them, and then trying to get rid of their body and storing body parts as well and dropping off certain body parts, you're not well, because that's not normal. Like, then, to kill someone, to kill is not normal.
Because I agree with that. Like, it's not a normal thing to do, but then it's like some of the things he weren't doing or he was doing was kind of like, well, he's going to this, like, he was going to this bar, this one specific bar, and he'll pick up a person from there and then bring them back home or whatever. And he kept doing it. So it's like, all right, if someone's gone and done an act, chances are they're going to probably avoid that area for a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, so he's not well.
Yeah. So then, but then when he got caught, he was just like, yeah, so this is what I did. He had a sane mind when he got caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then, okay, let me put it this way.
I know what I did. Like, I don't deserve.
But that's somebody that's not well, bro.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, for example, have you seen the it's another show on Netflix, The Nurse, The Good Nurse?
I haven't seen it. No.
Haven't seen it? Watch it, because it's basically about another serial killer, and he killed countless. Like, I'm sure he killed like over like about 400 or 200, between 200 and 400 people. In hospitals. It's based on a true story. Do you get what I'm saying? And when he finally got caught in the end, like, obviously you're gonna watch, you'll see it. Like, I've not gone into any detail, but that's just the general consensus of the show. When he got caught at the end, he never actually revealed why he was doing it. This is someone that's ill. He looked normal. He was doing normal things. He was even looking after people's children. Do you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, he was still killing people, and he couldn't tell you why he was doing it. For me, that's not normal. It's something you're meant, like you're ill, if that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Because, and the only reason I'm saying you're ill is because that is not normal behavior. It takes something for you to put a knife in someone or to take somebody's life. That's a big thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and to not have any sort of guilt or any sort of remorse afterwards.
But then this is the thing though. But he did have guilt and remorse.
When did he have guilt and remorse? When he got caught?
No. Like, he will have guilt and remorse after he's done it, and then obviously
go and do it again,
and then go and do it again.
What's the definition of insanity?
Well, doing something the same act thing, and getting
hoping for a different
outcome.
He's insane.
Yeah, but hold on. But how do you know? I get what you're trying to do there.
If he's sorry, why is he doing it again?
But this, my personal opinion is that
he's showing remorse. I'm not saying that he's sorry, but he's obviously feeling a certain way to what he's just done.
All right. So would you say
he's got an urge that he obviously can't do?
Yeah. So let me ask you something then. And this, for me, this justifies why he was ill, right? You kill someone, yeah, or he killed someone, because you're not a murderer, and you've taken their life, and they're like, you're thinking, you're looking at the lifeless body, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I got to get rid of this body. I'm gonna chop up this guy, and I'm gonna put some of his body pieces in a jar. I'm gonna eat some of him because I want to know what it tastes like, and I'm gonna put the rest in acid. Already, for me, you're not well, but let's play devil's advocate, because that's what you like to do. No, I'm just like, no, don't take it the wrong way. I'm just saying, like, right now you're being devil's advocate. No, right?
I'm not being devil's advocate, but I'm just kind of talking about, like, from you're asking from another perspective. Is he mentally ill? That's I can't speak for everyone, but I would feel like a majority of people will say that the guy's not well, because what he's doing is not normal behavior. You're not gonna feel comfortable sitting next to somebody knowing that they eat people. And the people they eat are people that they befriend, and they chop them up. You're not going to feel comfortable, because that's not normal to you. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? So, like, that's why I'm saying you're playing devil's advocate in this situation. So he's chopped up this guy. He's maybe sliced him up a bit, made a sandwich. Right? It's not even funny, but it's mad. This is what he's doing. He's made the bacon sandwich, and afterwards he's eating the sandwich or whatever. He's feeling guilty. Like, he's feeling remorse, he's feeling sorry. And then tomorrow comes, he wakes up, brushes his teeth, does it all over again. For me, you're not well. The only reason I say you're not well is because for you to feel remorse, it means that you're sorry that
you've done that.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you keep doing it again and again and again, and again and again and again, you're not sorry.
Yeah, but then
you're not sorry in the entire sense of the word sorry.
No, you're not sorry.
Well, you're not. But
you're not. There's no but.
There is a but.
What's
there
the
is
but?
a but. The but is that you can be mentally unwell and commit an act and then feel sorry in the moment for it and still go back to doing it because you have the capacity enough to know that it's the wrong act, but you have whatever is chemically imbalanced in your brain is making you do otherwise.
That's what I think it is.
So but then that means that he's not well then.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. I don't think he's not well.
That's my only point. That means you're not well. For me, I understand, like when we're talking about more sort of well-known types of mental health. I understand that, okay, somebody's can be sorry for the act that they're doing and, they might not be able to help it because of chemical imbalances. Had first-hand experience, as, some of us here have yourself, But then there comes a level of accountability in what you're doing. And that shows that, because you know wrong from right.
Yeah, your moral standing.
Right? And you know what helps you get better.
Yeah.
But if you choose not to do that to help you get better, you know what you're doing, in my opinion. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
It might be a harsh opinion, but it's my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it from a place of experience as well.
Yeah.
And for me, there's a difference between that and somebody that keeps troubling young children and somebody that keeps going back to commit heinous crimes like murder. Somebody who is maybe bipolar or schizophrenic or got psychosis, these are real chemical imbalances, but they're not committing murder or they're not committing, like, that's mad. They're not taking away someone's life. They're not sexually abusing people or stuff like that. They're just sort of caught in their own little web. So they might get caught in their own cycle where they keep doing something that maybe they shouldn't do in terms of, I don't know, maybe stealing money from a parent or abusing somebody's help. Do you get what I'm saying? Knowing that somebody's there for you all the time. So that you feel like gives you license to continue behaving how you're behaving without taking any accountability. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like there's a difference with that.
But what is that?
I feel like there's a difference because you're telling me that this Jeffrey Dahmer guy, he's calculated.
To an extent,
No, he is. He keeps going back to the same place.
No, but then again, it's like
he keeps going back to the same place. He keeps going for young men that are gay.
Yeah, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's.
How is he not calculated?
He's so calculated because if you watched it and you saw the way he got caught, it's almost like, what did you expect? Because what happened was he was obviously midway trying to do his thing again.
I'll tell you why he's calculated.
No, hold on, wait.
Okay.
Because he was midway trying to do his thing again. The guy somehow managed to get away, got the police, and then they came back. And then obviously I think they wanted to come and check the room and stuff like that. And it's like, if you're calculated, you're not just gonna, not that you don't have the power to obviously stop police from coming in, but he was kind of like, I'm gonna let the police come in, almost as if I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, but when you're unwell, your level, you can still be calculated in what you're doing. Yeah, but just because he left everything out to be found. Yeah. It's still a level of, he was calculated in doing the act, but like sometimes you think to yourself, well, how would you just allow the police to find this sort of stuff? Like, how would you? And you're saying that he's not calculated because of that.
Yeah, I'm saying there are, to an extent, he is calculated because
of course he's calculated.
He
keeps a bucket of acid in his house to get rid of bodies.
Yeah. But then I'm saying, if he was really that calculated, if you saw the way he got caught, it's like, someone who's calculated wouldn't get caught like that.
But when you're mentally unwell, you don't think about. You're not thinking about it. You're just thinking about committing the act.
I'm not going to put that
calculation doesn't really.
No. I'm not just going to put that down to him being unwell. He knew to make a sandwich with whatever meat that he was using to go to his neighbor to stop her from calling the police. I heard that he used to use a lot of cleaning products in his house so that it wouldn't smell. For me, you know what you're doing is wrong. You know that there's a smell. You're calculated.
I don't remember seeing that, to be fair. But
that his house was like, I've done my own research into Jeffrey Dahmer. I decided to do a little bit of research rather than watch the actual thing. So I've listened to a lot of interviews. I've read up on him a little bit, and I came across an interview where I'm saying people were saying that, you know, in the actual show, the kind of property that he had wasn't a property that you would suspect some sort of things happening in that place. The fact that I would say that he's calculated was even the fact that, you know, there was a scene, right, where the police was outside his house.
Yeah.
And a guy managed to escape.
Yeah.
The lady was like, look at him, like, he needs help.
Yeah.
And he came out and got the boy, and the police told him to go back inside.
Yeah.
And he played it so calmly.
Yeah, but it's like...
And did he make that guy suffer afterwards?
Well, yeah, I think he killed him after.
So is that not calculation?
I don't feel that's calculation.
Do you know? Okay, let me say something.
So,
a lot of...
So what do you think? What do you think it is?
Because I feel like I'm trying to think. If I've tried to do something to someone and they've escaped, and I've known they've now been seen, I'm staying inside. That's me being calculated. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but your calculation, just because your calculation is different to someone else's, doesn't mean they're not being calculated.
No, I get it.
You know, a lot of mentally ill people, right? They are quite calculated. Do you know that?
I hear it. But it's like
they're calculated, but they don't think everything through. Sometimes they don't think everything through, but they are definitely.
Yeah, which is why I haven't denied that he's calculated to an extent. Yeah, but I'm not. I feel like you're saying like he's calculated, right?
So so are you saying that based on, you know, the argument you're presenting, or the points you're presenting, do you feel like pedophiles are just solely mentally ill, or do you think that they're calculated and they know what they're doing is wrong?
I feel like you got like different like categories. So you got ones that are mentally ill, like they genuinely like don't know what they're doing. I feel you've got some that just have like a mad urge that they know it's wrong, but it's like they got a mad urge and they just keep doing it. Obviously, I feel like they're all kind of like wrong-uns to an extent as well. And then I feel you've also got ones that I feel like they're different categories, like you said,
like on the spectrum.
On the spectrum. The ones that want just power, and sometimes it's not even just about touching little people. It's like just a power aspect. I'm bigger than you,
so then that's they're ill.
Yeah, I'm not disputing.
Yeah, and I feel like
I'm not disputing that.
No,
he's a wrongin', man.
They're wrong.
No, I hear it.
Wrong.
Because what's another person I even wanted to just quickly touch on as well. I need to go and get thingy.
Yeah.
But do you ever hear about the nurse Lucy Letby?
Is this the one that was
the one killing off babies?
Yeah, I've heard about. I did hear about that.
She's a wrong-un.
Yeah, she is a wrong-un. Yeah, but then the reason why I kind of asked that question was because she's a serial killer. She killed how many babies?
Yeah.
Is she mad? Is she insane?
She's insane, but she's also a wrong-un, bro.
Because I don't know if I don't know if she was insane, because it's almost like,
how can she not be?
I think she was insane and calculated, because wasn't she keeping them alive to a certain extent, so she could like keep them alive for a bit, but then make them ill, make them better, then make them ill again, like until they die.
Stuff like that. And there was even one time where she was even accidentally interrupted while trying to do her thing, trying to kill a baby, and someone questioned her like, "Oh, why are you here?" kind of thing, and she was like, she came up with an excuse. So that's a calculated excuse to say like, "Oh yeah, I'm here because of I was put on duty," or something, like just some kind of lie in it. And then when that person's now gone, she's then gone back to what she was doing. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I feel like my question kind of is like, is insanity and like that calculation or intent in hand? Do you know what I mean? And I don't think it is.
I think they can cross over.
I think they can cross over.
Yeah, I think they can cross over. I'm not saying that, but I don't think it's like, if you're insane, then you're calculated or you're not calculated. Do you get what I'm saying?
But like, no, a lot of like, it's a.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, go on then.
It's actual. I can't remember what I was watching, but it's an actual fact that I think I was watching an interview. You know the podcast? Is it Johnny English?
I think
not Johnny English.
That's
James. That's the film.
That's
James
Mr.
English.
Bean, isn't it?
Yeah, Mr. Bean. I think he's James English, and he actually interviews a paedophile hunter. Okay. I think he was an ex-policeman.
Yeah.
He actually says that a lot of these paedophiles know exactly what they're doing. And yes, there is a thin line where it is mental health and they need help, but they know what they're doing. They know it's wrong.
Yeah. Do
you get what I'm saying? So for me, I almost feel like I see where everyone's coming from, but I feel like it's borderline sort of in line with Stockholm syndrome, where you sort of, you know, somebody's doing something that's blatantly wrong, but you end up sympathizing with them because you see the human side to them. Yeah. Which is fair enough. Everybody's human. But at the end of the day, I feel like people know right from wrong.
Yeah. And even when people are unwell, you can kind of see where they have the capacity enough to kind of enter the real world again, if you want to say that, and have like, have the more everything comes back. Oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong for doing that, blah, blah, blah. But it still doesn't stop them doing the act of where it is. So for me, they're insane and they are calculated, and they can both go hand in hand.
Of course, and it's easy to go hand in hand, in my opinion, man. Yeah, like, it's just crazy. Like, there's some crazy people out there, bro. And when I say crazy, I'm not talking about like clinically proven mental health. Like I said, you know, you got psychosis, you got bipolar.
Yeah, even schizophrenia, you got like 3 or 4 different types
disorder.
Of
like that's
orders within it.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm talking about, you know.
And even then, though, Dan, they cross over. Like in that, someone can be bipolar or have psychosis or schizophrenia, and the voice in their head that's telling them to do something can make them cross over into doing something, a violent act, and then now they've switched into that, and then they end up in a psychiatric hospital for psychiatric prison, and then that just exacerbates, and then it's just do you know what I mean? So
no, I get it, but it's at the end of the day, like,
I'm not saying it's serial killer level, but like it can transcend, man.
There's choices though. There's always a choice. You like you know, if you know that, okay, you're in this sort of position where you've been diagnosed with mental health, and you know that if I do A, it can trigger me, and it will put my family under pressure. But if I do B, I won't feel as good about myself because I like to do A, but I'll be in a much better position. And you choose A, you're choosing not to be accountable, in my opinion, because you've actually had that time to reason with yourself and say, I'm going to choose this anyway.
Yeah, they say if you're not changing, you're choosing.
And this is it.
And that's how I feel about it personally.
And this is it.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you just have to kind of say, you know what? I've tried my best. I'll always be here, but
it's an element of someone has to take self-responsibility for these things as well.
Of course.
And even when they are unwell, honestly, it's all about responsibility.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Shawnee B. Shawnee B. We're just having an actual intellectual conversation whilst you're away.
Wow. Yeah, it's not. Do you know what? It's not a light topic.
It's not a light topic. It's not at all.
What did I miss out on?
No, I was just we were basically saying, if you're not changing, you're choosing when it comes to mental health, because mental health it's one of those things where you have to take some sort of level of accountability for what you're doing, because you're putting other people through it, you're putting family through it, you're putting whatever else through it. And at the end of the day, we have a moral standard as a society because we need one. Because otherwise it'd just be unruly. So we need to know what is what and how you go about doing it.
And I was touching with Aaron how I listened to a podcast. Do you know James English?
I think I've heard.
He interviews quite a lot of like different people from different backgrounds, different walks of life, and I think he was interviewing a guy. I think he was an ex-policeman. I think he was a whistleblower actually. Oh, wow. And he's kind of set up a sort of foundation or corporation to bust out pedophiles and whatnot like that. And he said that there is a thin line of mental health there, but he said, don't get it twisted. They know what they're doing and they're choosing to do it. You know what I mean? And he said, when you're in rooms with these people, right, they can easily flip the interview so that they gain the upper hand. So they start asking you questions about your life and blah blah blah, and all they need is one key, and then they can rattle you. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's important, like he said, when you're interviewing these people, to not give in and just to be straight to the point. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So like I said, it's a sensitive topic. It's a deep one, and it's not really black and white in hindsight. Do you get what I'm saying? But when you think about it in normal terms and how society is, anywhere you go you can go to any country, murder is wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? You go to any country, they'll tell you that paedophilia, raping is wrong.
Yeah.
Even though it still happens. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you have someone that's doing these things continuously, there's a certain part of their mind, their conscience, their brain that's been seared. Do you get what I'm saying? As to why they feel like they can do that and why it's normal and why they keep doing it. You know, so for me, I feel like that's a choice.
There are some people, like, again, when you was talking about like being in certain rooms with or not you, but like people being in certain rooms with those type of people that do that, those type of things. That's why I mean, like, there's not two, but different categories where you got people that do it for power. They don't really care. Like, it's kind of like, I just want to overpower you. You know, like a lot of like the rich people that just, you find out that they've been doing some madnesses and stuff like that. But then you also get the ones that they know that it's bad. It's almost like they're battling demons within themselves and they keep losing.
Is that what you're saying that Jeffrey Dahmer was doing?
Say again?
Is that what you're saying that Jeffrey Dahmer was doing?
Well, they labelled him as one, didn't they? They labelled him as the first one, which was hedonistic. It's people that get a thrill or rush, lust/sexual pleasure or gain financially out of their victims.
Because his one was a very weird one, because I was trying to work it out, because he targeted homosexuals, but there's a question mark whether he was gay or not, because he never actually had sex with any of them, I don't think. But then one of them, you could even say that he thought about not killing, or he's trying to fight himself to not kill, because rather than his usual process of having to drug the guy and then obviously do like get them back, lie to them, get them back, and then obviously drug them, this one he didn't even have to do that. The guy actually just automatically liked him. So because he probably hadn't felt that love for it, like, you know, in his life or whatever, it kind of hit him different. And then that's when he was like, oh, you know what, like, I think there might have been 2 times where that he could have taken advantage of him, and then the third time is where again he was obviously fighting that battle and he lost, and then that's when he just again killed, man.
I think people in those situations sometimes, like Dan said, you know, when you get into the room with them and they're interviewing them and stuff, they can very quickly switch and create a kind of victims mentality. Yeah. Because they're so used to dealing with victims and being the perpetrator and being the one that's in the power position. Yeah. And that they're able to know how to kind of victimize their symptoms or their situation. At the end of the day, there's a responsibility that everyone owes to others and to yourself as well.
Because like, think of it, you know, it's not easy to kill someone, you know.
Like,
the thing is, do you know how I know you wasn't well?
You say that, but someone else might say it is.
Yeah, but they're not well. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, anyone that's gone to war, like, okay, I'll give you a real life example. My missus, she I don't know where she was one time, but she actually managed to butt heads with an American sniper. And he was fighting in the war, like Iraq and all the Middle Eastern places. And she was telling me some stories that he said, and he said, I haven't even shared these stories with my wife. And I know someone personally myself that's a veteran, and he was in the war, and he's from another country. He got exiled from his country for a bit. He was in the British Army, and some of the things he was telling me and some of the states that I've seen him in, because of the PTSD that he's gotten, anyone that's in the army will tell you it's not an easy thing to kill someone and to sleep at night like a baby.
Yeah, of course.
But
because you're fighting an internal battle.
This guy was killing people and sleeping.
Who?
Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm waking up and saying, I'm going to go do it again.
Going back to the same,
but then
it's the same thing.
Same drink.
Do you think it was calculated that when he went to jail and then he started asking for repentance and, you know, like he was like, oh, I believe in the you know, God.
Yeah, of course, because
like it was calculated,
because things was getting real.
Yeah, it can be calculated. It can also it can be part of his mental state as well.
But you're saying things are getting real. But
when I say things are getting real, because what you have to be careful is that there are some people that are religious. There are some people that believe in God and that are faith based. Do you get what I'm saying? I believe in God myself. Do you get what I'm saying? But so when you believe in things like that, that could be embedded from you as a child, and you know, you're just living your life how you want to live it, but in the back of your mind you're always thinking, oh gosh, when I die, where am I gonna go, heaven or hell? If that's what you believe in. If you don't believe in that and you believe in something else, that's fine. But if that's a foundation for you, or you kind of just don't really believe in God, but you kind of think, you know what, just in case there's a heaven and a hell, you're now in prison. Do you get what I'm saying? Things are getting very real for you. So if you start thinking, right, there's a place where I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna burn for the rest of eternity, you're gonna start thinking, right, I need forgiveness because I'm not trying to go there.
But
my other question was he in a normal, prison? Say normal prison? Was he in a psychiatric prison?
No, he was in a normal prison. So this is what I'm saying. So again, like he was introduced to, I can't remember what you call it, but you know when you start dissecting animals and stuff like that,
frogs and things like that.
Biology
and stuff like that. Huh?
Biology.
No, there's a certain term for it. But he was introduced to that by his dad, because that's what I think that was his dad's job, was like to obviously do that for work, innit?
His dad was a surgeon.
No,
was his dad one of those people that worked in like a factory and they have to like cut open pigs?
Something like that.
A butcher?
No, not a butcher. I can't remember. But he, for whatever his job was, he had to like obviously cut up like animals or whatever. And then one time, I think as a kid, he was like, all right, let me like. He asked dad, "What do you do?" And then dad was like, "Oh, this is the time to bond with my child to
so let me show him
what I do." So again, growing up with Jeff Dahmer, I feel like already his intellect, his mind was already a bit delayed compared to everyone else. So he was, where he's all a big man and that, he couldn't hold down a job. He was still like searching for things that might mean something to him. So he even dabbled in like, you know, like Satanism and stuff like that. You know, he's
so that means he did believe in God.
But so this is what I'm saying. So if he believe like, and he actually believed in something that at that time, which was the Satanism, when he was doing all that stuff. I think we only saw it once in the whole series. I
think for you to believe in Satanism, you believe in God.
Yeah, of course. But again, he was curious in it. So then when he was in jail, he's already said, yeah, I did this. This is what I did. This is where I buried him. This is how I killed him and dismembered him. He's telling every man what he's done. He's saying, I don't deserve to live and stuff like that. And he's telling them like, right, yeah.
That's because he's feeling guilt. That's if he's turned to the occult.
Yeah. But then at the same time, even when he's believing in, like, he's saying, I want to believe in God now and all that stuff. At the same time, he's getting a kick out of being a fan icon for all these people that want to write into him and send their panties in for him to sniff and sending money for his signature and stuff like that. Do you know, he's getting off that. So he's getting off what he done when he was out there, but then he's also saying that he wants to repent because, you know, he wants to go to heaven and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
so this is what I'm saying. How can that be calculated? Do you see
just because of that doesn't mean that he's not a calculated
doesn't mean he's not
person.
Calculated, or it doesn't mean that if you're not mentally unwell, that some people, and it's not no disrespect to people that believe in God or religion or anything, but some people who are mentally unwell, they do turn to religion when they are in a psychotic state, depending on if they've grown up. Again, like how Dan said, kind of within that one part of your mind kind of gets unlocked where you will start to delve into those things a bit more. You might even believe that you're God yourself.
Yeah.
And start to say those sort of things.
I understand why you're saying that, but I feel like his mind it's not like he came into it and then been like, oh yeah, you know what, like religion. His mind's kind of been dabbling with that anyway, because from where he was curious on the other side, and then obviously he's been doing his things and stuff like that, and then he came across, I really can't remember how he came across. I think he started speaking to a preacher a pastor in jail. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's what happens though, isn't it? Like sometimes people go on outreach on the street and you could just be minding your business one day, and one day someone comes to speak to you about God, and because of what they say, you feel convicted. Do you get what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that you're mentally ill or that you're not calculated. That just means that at that moment in time, somebody said something that made you feel better or provoked your thoughts.
But calculated to me sounds like you're doing something in order to, like, you're doing something now because you have a desired outcome at the end. So you're making these calculations because there's a certain answer you want to get to.
That's very black and white, and I don't think that's fair. I don't think
it's always an outcome thing. It could just be calculated for the moment. It could be like he was calculated in the moment to know what to do, but he wasn't thinking about the thought of getting
about the consequences.
But whether it's short term or long term, he's still thinking of the end product of that phase
of killing. But yeah, the end product could have just been killing someone.
But then the end of that is that phase, though. You see what I'm saying? So like, alright, so like me, my calculation would be like, alright, I'm just gonna try and explain this in the simplest way. So,
what you trying to say?
No, because I'm not trying to compare myself to Jeff.
I know, but he was calculated enough to lure someone back, then to drug them, then to kill them, then to get rid of their body in some.
That's a calculated person.
That is all calculated to me up until that's all calculations.
Yeah,
and then whatever. But
so then when he got caught, do you think is he miscalculated then?
No, you just got caught because you're doing like.
But then how do you like? Okay, so what's
okay? Like, let me put it like
everyone does everything to kind of know that they're not gonna like. If they get caught, they get caught.
Not everything's logic. Okay, put it this way, yeah. Somebody that's a drug dealer, knows that what they're doing it for. Right, they know that they're selling drugs because they want to get money, they want to get girls, or they want a certain status, right? But they also know the risk of it is that they can get caught. But if they get caught, then they're gonna go to prison.
They're also sometimes doing it to provide food and stuff
money. That's what I'm saying, money. But they know that there's a risk, bro. But they're calculated. They've calculated this. Do you get what I'm saying? Jeffrey, that's what I'm saying. So this Jeffrey guy, he's calculated that. I'm going to kill somebody. And I need to get rid of their body because if I don't get rid of their body, it's gonna stink and I'm gonna get caught.
So then let me ask. So, alright, for a drug dealer, then So for a drug dealer, that's obviously doing the stuff, and it's a calculated risk because obviously he knows what happens if he gets caught. Now, if the police knock on his door, and he knows that he's got a whole weed factory in the back, is he gonna be like to the police like, oh yeah, just come in? Like if he gets caught, is that a miscalculation on his part?
But then there's an element of mental health that doesn't account for that part.
I'm talking about what in terms of the weed man.
The fact that but
why would he open the door? Why would he open the door?
What do you mean?
But the police is knocking.
Exactly. So this
but then there's a lot more. There's other layers to the Jeffrey Dahmer thing because the lady was calling the police. And she was black, but they weren't going there. But the thing is, so when they saw him come out his house, it's like, oh, it's just another white guy. He must be okay. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't disregard that element. You can't disregard it.
No, I do get that. No, but I do get that part. But what I'm saying is like when you're talking about different layers to it, I feel like there's so many different layers, and obviously, unfortunately, we can never get to the bottom.
I'm just gonna say because I just feel like this guy was calculated. He knew what he was doing,
and he was unwell,
at the same time. Because you can't just be killing people and sleeping at night and like nothing happened. You're not normal.
Fair. Alright, we'll leave it there, fam. We'll leave it there, man. Alright, so this is the end of episode.
What is it? Episode 57.
I'm sure 57 is it? Yeah.
We're moving, man.
Episode of 57, fam.
I love it. Yeah. You lot tell us what you think anyway.
Man, crazy,
I think Sean's wrong, but
same.
It'd be interesting to hear what everyone thinks. But yeah, like and subscribe fam. As you do.
Yeah, man.
And everything. Comment below. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
That's it.
All the rest of that.
Push that button.
Yeah. Hit the hotline.
Hit the hotline. What's the number? What's the hotline?
Sean will put it up on the screen.
Yeah, I'll put it up on the screen.
Where's my phone?
But yeah,
you've been here with Aaron.
Yeah, been here with Shores.
Been here with DCB,
aka
Chargy D,
aka
Angleman Dan.
Yes. Stop it. Calm down.
Let's go.
Love it.